petite redhead. "The tests are back," Dr. Monroe said. "And? Do I have cancer?" Dr. Monroe frowned and studied the pages inside the file folder. "Why on earth would you think? Oh, I see. A family history of cancer. Huh. A lot of cancer. But no, it's not cancer." Skylar stifled the urge to weep with relief. "Then what on earth is wrong with me? Is it a bug or something I picked up someplace? Is it contagious?" For some reason, the impulsive event from a few months back clicked front and center in her mind. Contagious. Kade McKay. The rat bastard. He'd given her the clap. "I have to say, Skylar, I'm not particularly surprised." Skylar's mouth dropped open. "Not surprised that I have an STD? I have unprotected sex one freaking time in all the years I've been sexually active, and you're not surprised that the jerk I slept with gave me crotch crud?" Dr. Monroe smiled. Grinned, actually. "Oh, he didn't give you an STD. He gave you a baby." "What?" Skylar shrieked. I'm... Oh my God. I'm pregnant? 3 months. Does that sound right?" Skylar nodded dumbly, numbly. Pregnant. Good God. She hadn't seen Kade since that blow-up at Ziggy's 3.5 months ago, the night they'd done the deed in his pickup in the parking lot of a honky-tonk. Immediately after that romp, she'd found out he'd tricked her. She'd cut him out of her life, dodged his phone calls, and, eventually, he'd stopped calling. Yet, recently, she'd found herself thinking of patient, sexy-as-sin Kade McKay at the oddest times, wondering if she hadn't gone off half-cocked. Although he'd never corrected her assumption he was pretending to be his identical twin brother, the time they'd spent together never seemed like a trick, or a joke, or forced, but something promising, something real. Right. It didn't get any more real than a baby. A baby. Jesus. "Any excessive drinking or other substances I should be worried about that might have affected this pregnancy?" "No. My sister is a recovering alcoholic and she's been living with me, so I haven't had a drop of alcohol in months." "Good." Dr. Monroe scooted forward and clasped Skylar's hands in her own. "A surprise pregnancy isn't always a pleasant surprise. You understand, as your physician, there's no judgment on my part on the decision you make. You're a healthy 34-year-old woman. Pregnancy and childbirth isn't a risk to you health-wise. That said, if this pregnancy isn't something you want, you'll need to schedule an appointment with the clinic in Billings or one in Denver within the next week to terminate it. After that, you're starting the second trimester and the health risks to you double." "So, I'm a third of the way through?" Dr. Monroe nodded. A baby, growing inside her. How weird. How cool. And suddenly, Sky wanted this baby fiercely. "Well, Doc, I'm looking at this as a good surprise." "I thought you might say that." "Why?" "Because we're the same age, and if I had the same surprise, I'd be over the moon." Sky definitely felt as if she'd been launched into another galaxy, spawning a new life form inside her. Guess I'd better bone up on Mr. Spock's pregnancy and childbirth books. Dr. Spock, the baby expert, not the Vulcan Star Trek character. Doc Monroe said dryly. She reached into a cabinet, pulling out a big white plastic bottle. "Prenatal vitamins. I'll write you a prescription, but this should get you through until I see you next month." Then she rattled off a spiel about unnatural bleeding, swollen tissues, tingling in arms and legs, when to come in. Sky heard it all, but through a fog of disbelief. The word pregnant kept repeating in her mind.